I'm Ben Gromiko from InterNACHI, and Juan asked me to do a short presentation on some things that might fulfill some of your needs that are in class. And we've got a few folks who are online, virtually attending. If anybody has a question, feel free to reach out to Juan or to me by chat if you want to. And I was thinking about what would be a really nice couple of topics to talk about for the next 40 minutes or so. And I thought, one, I would explain how to make yourself incredibly valuable to a potential employer or to your clients if you're going to run your own business. Two, show you what's available in Florida, because we have a lot of resources. InterNACHI is this huge organization. We have a lot of state-specific in Florida resources to help you become a home inspector and also then boost your inspection business once you become a home inspector. And then I have a list of 15 things you may want to do while you're being trained at the House of Horrors in Florida. And you can write a few, if you have a pen and paper, or if you want to type this down or email me later for the URLs. It's going to be a lot of information in the next 40 minutes. So I'm going to go a little fast. You can write them down or just email me for those resources, because that's one of the things that InterNACHI does really well. We provide the resources you need to be successful. And so enjoy the hands-on training experience at the House of Horrors in Florida. But when you are away from that experience and you're trying to figure out what to do next, that's where InterNACHI plays a role. And you need to find out where that information is. And I'm going to give you URLs, places to visit online so that you can work on your business. Okay. So first thing, how do you make yourself incredibly valuable to a potential employer or to your clients if you're going to run your own home inspection business? And in addition to taking the hands-on training, like you're doing at the House of Horrors in Florida, and in addition to taking the training at a chapter event or a conference or the online training through InterNACHI, that's just all good technical training, right? But you actually have to learn more. You have to learn more than what it takes to be a great home inspector, to be technically competent in your job. Why? Why do you have to do that? Because you want to learn information that provides overwhelming value to someone who's going to hire you, maybe a boss who wants to bring you into his or her multi-inspector firm, or you want to provide overwhelming value to your clients. If you don't learn more than just what's required to be a good home inspector, you won't last in this business. You have to learn more than what it takes to perform a home inspection in order to be successful. And you want to be a value-driven professional who has high economic value in the open market. So if you're going to become a home inspector and attain a license, you know how many licensed home inspectors there are in Florida? Why would you be hired just because you have a license? You have to be more than just the basic state minimum. When you get a home inspector license, it takes a lot of effort to get I'm a Florida licensed home inspector. It takes a lot of effort to get that license, but that doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And that doesn't mean you're going to be in demand by an employer who wants to hire you as part of the team. And it doesn't mean potential clients are going to look at you and think, boy, that's a home inspector I have to hire. What you want to do is provide others an incredible return on their investment, whatever they invest. So if it's your spouse or your friends, you know, they're investing their time and their love for you. You have to give them a reason to do that, right? You have to give them an incredible return, right? It isn't just a one-way street. It's a two-way street, right? Same thing in business, actually. Same thing of being employed by somebody. you have to show an incredible return for their investment in you. How do you become that value-driven professional? You have to learn. You have to learn more. You have to do more. You have to work more. So where do you go in order to learn more? Even after your 5-day training class at the home inspection, at the InterNACHI House of Horrors, even after you attain a license, where do you go? InterNACHI, because that stuff, that extra stuff is available for free online by InterNACHI. That's why you're a member of InterNACHI. And I want to thank you for being a member of InterNACHI. Everything that InterNACHI does that's associated with education, training, certification, or anything like that comes from our tuition-free college. The InterNACHI School is the only accredited college for home inspectors, and that's at internachi.edu. That's why you're being trained by the best. Your instructor right now is a master instructor. And he is going to, and he and his team is going to give you the best training in the whole world. But if you have that desire to become more, to show incredible economic value in the open market to a potential employer or to your clients, then the InterNACHI School is where you go to learn even more. What would you do? What should you do? What's the first course that I would recommend after completing your hands-on training at the House of Horrors? I'll tell you. You go to our education page. Go to any nachi.org page, right? And you go under Get Started. And you go to the Training and Education link. And in the search field, you type in business. Because regardless of whether you're going to run your own business as a home inspector or be employed by a home inspection business, that is what you want to learn. You want to learn how to run a successful home inspection business. Take the InterNACHI Home Inspection Business and Marketing course and learn how to run and operate a successful home inspection business. Even if your goal right now is thinking, oh, I'm just going to join a team of other inspectors in a big home inspection company. That's great. You want to stand out. You want to learn why customer service is so important. That's part of business. You want to learn, you want to be confident in why you charge what you charge confidently. When you lay down that invoice after your inspection and you're collecting money for your company, you want to do it with confidence because you already took the business and marketing course that teaches you about providing overwhelming value. So your clients are happily pulling out their wallet and paying you. You want to learn about time management. If your employer sees you doing a home inspection, it's taking you all day to do one inspection and make only $100, you're not going to be employed there very long. It's about being aware of your time. And in business, you want to make a large amount of money in a short amount of time. And there's basic math in this home inspection business and marketing course. I highly recommend taking this course. You can jump in and out. It's free and online, and it's provided by the only tuition-free college for home inspectors. So spend a little bit more effort and be that value-driven professional who has incredible value in the open market for potential employers and potential clients in the future. Okay? Second point, show you what's available in Florida specifically. So let's go to nachi.org/Florida, nachi.org/Florida. And again, all of the courses provided by InterNACHI are provided by the college, InterNACHI School. So it's a college course that you're actually taking when you take an online course. We want you to become a home inspector, a certified home inspector, certified by InterNACHI, the InterNACHI College, in addition to attaining a license. So remember I said just attaining a license isn't enough. We want you to be now InterNACHI certified. Why? Why isn't having a home inspector license in Florida good enough? I'm a Florida licensed home inspector, but I'm also InterNACHI certified. And when you become InterNACHI certified, in addition to attaining a license, a whole world of opportunity opens up to you. Those resources are available to all the membership, but there are certain resources that are only available to certified inspectors. For example, we have a marketing team that can help you design a logo or think about how a business card should look. If you're going to run your own business, this is very important. There are 7 people who work on the InterNACHI marketing team. They're not available to members. They're available to only InterNACHI certified inspectors. So you want to take the 6 steps to become certified through InterNACHI and take advantage, leverage the resources that you couldn't possibly afford on your own. You can't hire 7 people to work on your marketing, but because you're a member of InterNACHI and you're certified, you now have 7 people who work for you. You can call up the InterNACHI marketing team when you're certified, get your license, be a member, get certified, call up the InterNACHI marketing team and start a conversation with them. Ask anybody on the marketing team, what can you do to help my inspection business be successful? They're consultants, they're business consultants, marketing consultants, they're illustrators, designers. And the marketing team of InterNACHI is available to you. That's a huge resource that you should take advantage of in order to help you communicate incredible value that you have to offer in the open market. You have a license, you have to renew it. I do it every 2 years. I take a course through InterNACHI and I renew my license without even sweating. It's so easy. So if you want to renew your license, you have to take an online course. You don't have to think about that now because you're just becoming a home inspector, but eventually you're going to have to renew your license. Don't worry about it. Just go back to InterNACHI. We've got the resources for you. Live webinars. I love to teach classes, and I call them webinars or InterNACHI webinars. NACHI.org/webinars. NACHI.org/webinars. Take a note and take a look at the upcoming courses that we have. Classes, webinars. They're all free online and open to everyone. You just register and you'll get an email. And then if you miss it because you're doing a home inspection or you're training with Juan Garcia at the House of Horrors again, or on some kind of field trip, don't worry about it. All the webinars are recorded. Everyone who registers gets a video recording. So take a look at the free live classes. I mean, they're all over the place. Like I've got a home inspection training webinar coming up. And then we have Introduction to SEO. We just had recently about radon tests. I think it was this morning or yesterday about how to do radon tests. So a wide variety of topics, all free and online. Insurance, you have to have insurance to be a home inspector down in Florida. And I highly recommend you compare InterNACHI's insurance benefits to other programs. So take a look at that. And this is on the NACHI.org/Florida page. You scroll down to the insurance and get a quote from InterNACHI's insurance. And it looks like this. Okay. Network with other certified and licensed home inspectors in Florida. You are not alone. This is a huge benefit. I mean, the people around you are your competitors, right? Friendly competitors, maybe, but that's a good thing. If you were alone, you'd probably, have some ideas that may not pan out. You could go down one path on your marketing strategy and waste a lot of money. What you want to do is, especially in the beginning, is you want to rub elbows with other people who are in business and learn from them, glean from them, gain from them, take ideas from them. And if you're in business with other people in business, a chapter event is a great place where you can go and kind of gauge where you are. How well am I doing? What does my website look like? Is it converting website visitors into scheduled clients? Is my competitor's website communicating incredible, overwhelming value? And that's why she's busy and I'm not. It's really good to bounce off ideas with each other. And also to just sit back in the back and just listen, sip some coffee, let the chapter president present, and just learn more. So you're not alone. If you click this, you can go to any zip code. I don't know any zip codes in Florida. I'll just do my own zip code, 27605. So this is all the inspectors in Raleigh, and I pop up. But you can see, like, within a 5-mile radius, I have a lot of friendly competitors that I can go to and ask questions and meet at the next chapter event or have coffee with and just talk about business. Because InterNACHI staff can help you, but you really want to talk to home inspectors in your local area about your local area issues, about your local area housing issues, right? So we have a link here so you can network with local inspectors. I also recommend joining a chapter. Join a local chapter in Florida, and we have a few. So what you want to do is click the link and scroll down to our chapter. We have chapters that you can see all over the place, right? We have a ton in Texas, but in Florida, let's see, where's Florida? Yeah, we have North Florida chapter, InterNACHI chapter, Southeast Florida, South Florida, Suncoast chapter, Tampa Bay chapter. Now, all these chapters are run by InterNACHI inspectors. Some of them are very busy, some of them are not. InterNACHI doesn't run them, InterNACHI members do. So if you wanted to see who's in the North Florida chapter, this is a great chapter to join. They have local areas to attend a chapter, like at a restaurant, and they also do things virtually as well. You can look at the past events. You can also look at the chapter members. Look how many, 400 chapter members. This is a strong chapter, right? And the president is our bud, Wally Conway, right? A certified master inspector. It's been in the business forever. What a great resource this is. You're one click away from talking to a certified master inspector who's been successful. This fella is making a lot of cash being a home inspector. And I really like it because Wally has turned around, just like Juan Garcia, master inspectors who are now wanting to give back. They're training other inspectors. They don't mind the competition. They love it. The more the merrier for them. And you need to find that InterNACHI resource, like these chapter presidents, and ask them questions. So there's a link to joining a chapter. The chapters are free. Just join a chapter in your area, or if they meet virtually, join any chapter you want. Find an InterNACHI mentor in Florida. Juan Garcia is a mentor, and there are other mentors as well. You go to nachi.org/mentoring, and you log into the program, and you can choose what kind of mentoring you want. Maybe a ride-along inspection, or you just like to be texted some information like, hey, I'm on a roof. Can you help me with this? Take a picture. Your mentor pops back with a reply. Yeah, everything's okay, right? If you wanted to be specific in your area, here's Florida. We have 34 mentors. I'll click it here. There's Javier, there's John, there's Patrick. It just goes on and on, okay? So you're not alone. So find a network of inspectors, find a local chapter of inspectors, and find a mentor in Florida. Now, legal documents. We have a legal department in InterNACHI. They develop legal documents, state-specific ones as well, like the online agreement, but you have to find a local business attorney. It's a little expensive. Maybe ask a friend in your network of inspectors. Who do you use? Your local business attorney is going to look over all of your legal documents. They'll even read what you write in your inspection reports so that you don't get in trouble. They'll look at your online agreements, making sure you're setting your client's expectations, right? And if you work for someone, you've worked for a company that hires you as an inspector, they can help you with that as well, making sure you're protected, making sure you understand how much you're going to get paid, when you're going to get paid, and for doing what, right? The other thing that a local business attorney does is they help you sleep at night. InterNACHI's insurance program has kind of like this benefit where you get InterNACHI's insurance and you kind of sleep well at night. A local business attorney can do the same thing, because if you get a letter in the mail, hey, you performed a home inspection 2 months ago and now my roof leaks, your business attorney already has set up a personalized, customized response to just squash that potential formal complaint with a reply. They may even know, because it's a local business attorney, they may even know the other attorney at law office. They probably know the local magistrate as well. If you go to small claims, it's no big deal. I've been there as a home inspector. But we have those local legal resources for you. But you also need a local business attorney in my recommendation. Mold inspecting. So if you're a home inspector, there's a law that regulates mold assessors, right? But we asked Florida about, what about a home inspector who isn't licensed as a mold assessor? What if they come across something that looks like mold? And we had them quote us this. The director said, Florida DBPR director said, a home inspector may inspect, sample, identify visible mold, assuming the visible mold discovered during the home inspection is less than 10 square feet in area, and that inspector is allowed to advertise mold testing, mold sampling, mold inspections within the scope of the licensed home inspector, right? You're still doing a home inspection. You're only doing a home inspection. And you can't, you're not a, what do they call it? Entomologist. You're not allowed to identify the bug. You can't say, hey, that's a powder post beetle. Hey, that's a subterranean termite. And hey, that's damage caused by subterranean. You're not licensed as a, so that's WDO. You're not allowed to say, hey, that's black mold. Sorry. Hey, that's a particular type of mold growth. Or, hey, you should get a remediation. You have a serious mold issue. You can't say those kind of things, right? You can't say that you're a mold assessor. Can't even say that you're doing a mold assessment. You have to stay within the scope of a home inspection. You're a licensed home inspector, but obviously down in Florida, you're going to come across moisture intrusion issues and also WDO issues. We can talk about, it's the same thing, mold and WDO. You can't identify the bug. You can't identify the mold, right? You can't say that you're a mold, making a mold assessment. You can't write a mold report, right? You're not a licensed mold assessor. You're not a licensed WDO inspector as well. So if you're going to stay within the scope of a home inspection. If you see mold, and it's a little bit of mold, or something that indicates potential mold growth, you can phrase it just right so you don't take on responsibility. And it's a little bit, the state allows you to do that as a home inspector. If it's a lot of mold, if it's an area that is huge on the wall, give it to someone else. Give that responsibility to someone else. Say, I highly recommend you hire a licensed mold assessor, licensed by the state of Florida. I'm not one, I'm a home inspector. And this is potentially a serious issue with mold. It's actually the same thing with WDO. If you see something that looks like damage from a termite, as a home inspector, you can stay within the scope of a home inspection and comment upon that damage, but you're not allowed to identify it because you're not licensed to do that. So if you're going to be a home inspector, stay in that scope. And you're allowed to comment. You're allowed to even inspect, sample, and identify visible mold. But you are not allowed to market yourself as a mold assessor because that's a regulated service. Doing other things, being a home inspector in Florida is really great, but you better become a wind mitigation inspector. Every roof in Florida needs to be inspected because those things fly off during a hurricane and we want them strapped down. So InterNACHI has a certification program that once you become an InterNACHI certified home inspector in wind mitigation inspections, the state recognizes you. And we have a course, a state-approved course for that. 4-point inspections is another ancillary service. So there's home inspection and then there are ancillary services. That's where you really make some gross revenue. You increase your gross revenue by adding on these additional services. So you got home inspection, you got mold, you got wind mitigation, you got 4-point inspections, and InterNACHI has a training and certification program for that. Here's the WDO. Sorry, I got those two. I combine those two sometimes mentally. So the state says a home inspector, upon observing some apparent wood-destroying organism, WDO, damage during a home inspection, can state that he or she observed damage to wood or the structure, but the inspector cannot state that it's due to a wood-destroying organism. As long as they are not diagnosing the condition or stating that it's due to termites or some other pest, they're okay. And so we have a resource here. You click the resource, and we have a report that you can use as a home inspector in Florida to tell your client what you are observing. And it doesn't require you to identify it as a termite or another kind of WDO. Okay. So you can provide information to your client still in relation to wood destroying organisms and be within the letter of the law. So take a look at that. We have an email. You can actually read the email from the state if you wanted to see the actual email. Additional revenue streams. Home inspection was, when I was a home inspector in Pennsylvania for a dozen years, home inspections was our main gross revenue generator, right? And you're always wanting to generate revenue. You're the revenue generating machine. So you want to also think about these other markets, vertical markets, different ancillary services you could do. Commercial inspections is very different from home inspections. And it's sometimes very specific to the area in which you work. Maybe commercial inspections are in demand and maybe they're not. But if you wanted to think about that, we have resources for you. Within InterNACHI, we have a commercial inspector training and certification program, and our sister organization, CCPIA, is there, and that's that red logo there. So if you're interested in commercial property inspections, we have those resources for you. These are the best resources, these two avenues to become a commercial property inspector. Home inspectors deal in the hundreds of dollars. Commercial property inspectors, they deal in the thousands of dollars. And the work scope is somewhat similar, but actually very different. So you have to really think about what you want to do, especially if you're new to the home inspection industry. Become a great home inspector and then start to expand out. You can also become a certified home energy inspector. Maybe in your area, there's a population of people who are into sustainability or saving home energy or solar panels or things like that. So you can become a certified home energy inspector. This is a really good course program. A lot of resources there. Turns out there's like 20 things that are related to a home being energy efficient. And those 20 things you inspect as a home inspector. I mean, they're listed in the standards of practice. Like, for example, inspecting the thickness of the insulation in the unfinished spaces, like in the attic, right? That's part of the home inspection, that's what's required, but it's also required in a home energy inspection, inspecting the insulation thickness. Ventilation is another one. Identifying the efficiency of the furnace or the air conditioner. These things are all, they're overlapped. So it's kind of easy to market yourself as a certified home energy inspector. So take a look at that. That's a really good resource there. Now, if you're going to be hired by a company or you're going to run a company yourself, you want to think about marketing. And this is a really great idea that we came up with. It's a home maintenance book, and it's specific for Florida. Doesn't have any basements, chapters on basements, doesn't have any chapters on oil-fired boilers. So it's just for Florida. And it's extra information that you can provide to your client without taking a whole lot of time during the home inspection. So it's this extra valuable information. Whenever you're communicating as a home inspector, right? You want to, one, show your passion for inspecting, right? if you're a home inspector, you should be really into this. Can't wait to get into a home and inspect it. Show your passion and then add value. You want to add valuable information. You want to educate your clients about what? About the condition of the home. If you're doing a wind mit, the condition of the wind mitigation techniques. But you also want to give them information about how a home works, how to maintain it, and how to save energy. And that's what the home maintenance book is. And it's a physical book. It's a 100-page book, full color, really nice glossy cover. You can actually customize the home maintenance book if you wanted to through the InterNACHI marketing team that works for you. You can put your logo on the front cover if you wanted to. And it's only $2.70 each. And that's basically paying for the printing. That's a really low cost. Wait a minute, I thought everything is free at InterNACHI. This isn't, right? It's $2.70, not bad, but I wouldn't pay for it. If I was going to give a home maintenance book to every client, I would just simply raise my fee $5. Give them a home maintenance book. They essentially paid for it and a cup of coffee for me. So whenever you are thinking about adding something to your business or marketing strategy, you have to think about the cost of that and what is the return. We think there's an incredible amount of return for investing $2.70. But again, don't add to your overhead. Just raise your fee and allow your clients to buy their own home maintenance book. Don't add to your overhead. If you don't know what overhead means, take the home inspection business course. Here's something that you could do once you get really rocking and rolling: free CE for real estate agents. So we have some online courses. You can tell real estate agents that you bump into, hey, I'm a licensed professional too. I have to take CE to renew my license. And I know you do too. InterNACHI provides free online CE courses. Here's a card. And you can get a card and it looks like this. You hand them the card and there's 1, 2, 3 easy steps for that real estate agent to get free CE. And when they log into the course, they can enter your InterNACHI certification number. And when they log into the course, you get an email saying this real estate agent just logged into the course. And then you can keep track on how successful that card is. There's an online community. There's a message board, a forum, and you can talk with other inspectors in Florida. And this is dedicated to Florida inspectors only. So right here, here's Nick Gromyko. He's talking about the free business and marketing tips for new inspectors in Florida. I think he's referring to this one. We have a secondary roof question about patios for 4-point purposes. All kinds of things. There's even people in here. Here's a double tap question. Here's a 2-day mold assessor course, building code form 1802. So I'm looking for, there's often companies that post that they need an inspector in this area because they can't take it. It's too far away or they're all booked up. So sometimes it's like a classified ad. And InterNACHI is also helping Florida building code administrators and inspectors to renew their license, where we work with the Florida Electrical Contractor Licensing Board as well. So those folks can get free CE. We're trying to work with contractors. Contractors sometimes will follow your inspection to fix stuff, and then they have a tendency to bash the home inspector and say stupid things like, well, he should have seen that, right? So we're trying to work with those contractors and get on the same page. You can become a radon tester down in Florida. That's another way to have ancillary inspections. Not much radon in Florida. And well, you can just keep going, right? Just go down this page and especially BizVelop. If there's one more link, one recommendation, I would go to bizvelop.com, bizvelop.com. It's a free business development tool powered by the InterNACHI founder, Nick Gromyko, my brother. So it takes you through a path of questions. You answer the questions and you go over here and you answer a couple of questions, and it's trying to figure out, it's like AI, it's trying to figure out what you need. So it's a free tool. It allows you to think about, what is it do I want to do? And what do I need? Right? So you kind of like, you know, to be successful, you have to have a goal in mind. What is your goal? Forces you to think about a goal. And then it forces you to assess where you are, right? And then the tool kind of bridges that gap, takes you on a path to reach your goal. You have to assess where you are and then have that goal in mind, and it will take you to that goal. bizdevelop.com. All right. The third thing I wanted to show you was your homework, right? That's the 15 things that you can do on your own. I have got 15 steps to become a successful home inspector. And the first 5 are critical. I don't care if you're wanting to own your own business, or you're already a veteran inspector, or you're brand new and you don't know what to do. The first 5, make sure you've done the first 5. I'm sure you've done the step 1. You've joined InterNACHI. Welcome to the family. Now you want to get trained, certified, licensed. And how do you get experience? You're going to have 5 days of experience at the House of Horrors, but what about after that? How do you get real experience before you have your first fee-paying client? We take you through the steps on how to do that. We've got tools, software, how to calculate profitable inspection fees. Even if you're working for someone else, how did they come up with that $sign, right? And maybe you can give your boss advice. Maybe we're not charging enough, right? Down in Florida, there's a race to the bottom with price competition. You don't ever want to compete on price, right? When you compete on price, everybody loses because everyone's just trying to go down in price. What you want to do, it's all about value again. You want to compete on value. So you want to learn a lot within the 5 days at the House of Horrors. But after that, come to this page and learn the 15 steps and learn even more and become a value-driven professional who just happens to do home inspections. Okay, you know how to do a good inspection, done. But now what? You want to make sure that you are returning an incredible amount of value to whomever is investing in you. And that could be a potential employer or a potential client. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Oh, and that's at nachi.org/everything, nachi.org/everything, nachi.org/Florida.
All right. Anybody has any questions for Ben? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question for you. I seen that towards the end of yeah. And I know that I don't know if it's possible that this course is covered under that, or is it just the inspection?
Were you able to hear that, Ben?
No.
So, okay, yeah, please come. Please come.
Okay.
I see the Florida vocational rehab.
Yeah.
On the previous page.
Okay.
Is that something that is covered with, like, the House of Horrors be covered underneath that, or is it just the testing?
I don't think the vocational rehab is related to the House of Horrors training, but I have been wrong before. And that's why I have an education team. And so do you. So if you email me, ben@internachi.org, I'll hook you up with the education team that can answer that question for you, because I don't know. And so whenever you don't know anything, like, you can always email me or anybody on the education team or the member services, and they'll find that answer for you. So if you can email me, ben@internachi.org, that's a great question.
Now, let me clarify that. So you're talking about the veterans rehab or like re-education program?
Yeah. Well, so,
Yes, correct.
but the rehab.
So that is a great question, Ben, because we're talking about the GI Bill benefits for veterans that might be able to pay for that education.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is a great question. Genesis, can you take note on that, please?
Yeah.
When you email Ben, copy me. I'll give you my email because I will really know that as well.
Let's get this answer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Somebody else had a question? Yes. Miranda? We'll find out. She said no? One of the other guys said that he asked Miranda about the GI Bill, and Miranda said no. But we'll look a little bit further into it.
Yeah, because there's got to be something, because I know I've helped people out before with this, and the GI Bill has certain requirements for them to spend money on certain training. And I believe colleges is listed on that, and InterNACHI school is a college. Now, when it comes to the House of Horrors training, there's a little, because it's not an online experience, it's a live experience. But let's bring not Miranda's my events manager. Let's bring, and she helps with the class down in Florida. Let's bring in the education team, and they'll get something in writing for you.
Okay. We got quite an amount of veterans on this class, so.
Yeah, well, yep, that's right.
In the back, you guys, yes, sir? InterNACHI. What is InterNACHI?
Yep, it's one of the new chapters. It's on our chapter site, and it's run by InterNACHI founder Nick Ermico. And there was some, Nick is very successful at listening to members, and there was some comments on the forum about the current chapter system not meeting the members' needs. So he designed a new chapter. Go on the InterNACHI chapter, and see what's going on, see what the benefits are, and compare. I think it's going to be a good resource. You could join for free. There are other inspectors there. Ask them. You can contact them and chat with them. Why are we here at InterNACHI? And take it from there.
Yeah. Also, Lisa from InterNACHI convinced me to have a chapter here. Is the Southeast chapter.
Yeah.
And that is getting started now. But what I got from the first meeting is a lot of it of education for inspectors. So I'm going to look out to get like outside electricians, suppliers, engineers who come in and do training that will help us in our industry, not just inspectors talking to inspectors.
Yeah.
So, but that will be in the Southeast chapter that I'm slowly working on it.
Yep. Cool.
Yes, sir. Does InterNACHI offer the mole assessor and remediator class to become licensed?
Yeah, I believe we do. Let's go to Florida, NACHI.org/Florida. I'm on NACHI.org/Florida.
I believe we do. We're working. I know, while Ben does the research, I'm working also with ProLab, so we can do the class and finding the source to do the state exam.
Yeah, so we have partners who do the mold assessor training. InterNACHI has the CE approved, the free online CE for once you attain a mold assessor's license. So you can, again, reach out to the education team headed by Kayla at InterNACHI.org, and ask about who provides the training to become a mold assessor, licensed mold assessor in Florida.
I feel pretty confident that by next year we'll have InterNACHI do the actual state license, because I'm helping.
That's right.
I'm helping on that with ProLab, so we can actually offer the whole license.
Yep.
Somebody in the back, yes, sir. What do you think about real producers to advertise to the real estate community?
Real producers?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know. What is that? Okay, it's a magazine for the realtors.
Oh, yeah. Well, in any, it's like running Google ads or Facebook ads. You have to be careful with the money, because it can be very expensive, and it's all about the return on investment, right? So what do you actually want? You have to have a goal. What do you want to do? Do you want to target people who are reading this ad in this magazine? Or do you want to invest some other amount of time or money in another way of getting real estate agents to refer work to you? If that's the goal, how are you going to convince somebody through an ad that you should get their referral? Man, that's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough sell on an ad. and you're going to convince a real estate agent who's maybe upper level, mid-level, busy. You don't want to advertise to the thousands of real estate agents that are not doing any work. When you run an ad, it goes to everybody, right? So it's not even focused advertising. And then the goal is to get a referral from an agent who's busy. I don't think busy agents are looking at ads. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong. You could run an ad in a magazine and get a ton of business. That is the risk you take when you're investing in advertising. So if you could figure out all those steps, it could be very exciting when a magazine asks you to run an ad and it seems affordable. It seems really good. And they'll talk about readership and subscribers, but you have to figure out what your goal is and be careful with your money.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. My feedback to that is that I believe networking events like BNI's, Chamber of Commerce, when they see your face over and over and over a couple of times, eventually they'll like you, know you, trust you to give you the opportunity, and then you got to take it from there. Any other questions in the back? Yes, sir. Favorite what? Favorite measuring device?
Oh, I did a little video. My recent most favorite measuring device is an app on my phone.
The app on your phone?
Yeah, it's called Measure. If you have an
Measure.
iPhone, it's called Measure app, and it's amazing. You just scan things, and it draws lines, and it saves it, and it's really great. That's kind of like a fun thing. But
I was showing them yesterday my carpenter measurement, the multi-use.
Yeah.
And they were cracking jokes, but then afterwards they're like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna make a whole YouTube video on that. Ben is high tech. He likes the phone app. He's buying a carpenter ruler right now. All right, Ben, I think we got all the questions here taken. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm always available. Just email me, ben@internachi.org for any other questions. Thanks, Juan. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good one.
Bye.